Negotiating on contract.
All right, good evening, welcome. It is Tuesday, August 26th, and we'll call this meeting to order at 6:31 p.m. And my recommendation is roll call, please. Yes.
Councilor Schwartz.
Here.
Councilor Robert.
Present.
Mayor Schwartz.
Here.
Councilor Martin Lewis.
Here.
Councilor Morton.
Here.
Councilor Moore. Here. Thank you.
And we have two sets of meeting minutes from our regular meeting and also our work session. And we can do them individually or in a motion for approval at once.
I move to approve both sets of minutes as received. Second.
We have a motion by Councilor Morton and a second by Councilor Boulevard. Any discussion?
Councilor Moore.
Aye.
Councilor Morton.
Aye.
Councilor Martin Lewis.
Aye.
Councilor Robert.
Aye.
Councilor Roden. I'm saying so. And Councilor Schwartz. Great.
All right, thank you. Do we have any visitor or public comments today?
Not receiving.
All right, we'll move right in. I'll do a quick update from my end. It has been a busy month and we'll continue to be busy for the next couple of months. I've had a chance to attend the Oregon Mayor's Conference in Baker City. It was great to see Baker City. If you haven't been there, I would encourage everyone to go. It's a great city and there were great hosts that had a chance to check in with other mayors and learn a lot and coordinate a lot. So it was a great experience. Also went to the Good Morning Polk County that was hosted by the Monmouth Independence Chamber and also the Dallas Chamber, and representatives Evans and Sharp were both there to give updates, which is timely given we have a special session this Friday to talk about transportation. Minet hosted their customer appreciation day, which was a lot of fun, and a lot of people came out to enjoy that. They do a lot for our community, so it was really nice to see people participate in that. SEDCOR, our Regional Economic Development Corporation, hosted a happy hour up at Salt Creek for kind of a county-wide economic development happy hour. So it was great to see people from other communities there and talking about all things economic development. And then the community fiesta was this last weekend, which was a lot of fun, and had a chance to welcome the community and also crown the queen, which is a new experience, but also a lot of fun. And I don't know if anyone had a chance to go to the Wings Over the Willamette event at the Independence State Airport, the Stoll Wars, but that's something that you should definitely put on the calendar for next year. It was a really great event and great way to welcome a lot of people to our community.
Mayor, congratulations on the Spanish speech at the committee. Yes.
That was terrifying. But I'm glad I did it. So, and hopefully there will be a lot of forgiveness over my pronunciation that I'm quite welcome. But I'm glad I did it. So, thank you. And with that, looks like we'll hand it over to Patrick.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Excuse me, I'm making sure my phone was silent. Let me take a little bit of time to talk about summer reading, how great it was, and then I promise we'll get to the counselor's book challenge. You have the final totals. We're good on that. I do want to brag, this summer, the library had 1,129 signups, which is a new record. We've never had that many people sign up. Councilor Boisvert, I know that you've gone through a lot of this stuff. I believe it was the last meeting, 2 meetings ago, when you did your update. So if I step on toes, throw stuff at me at our next board meeting. At the end, we totaled up all the numbers. As you know, as adults, if you read 4 books, you turned in a ticket. But if you only read 3, we didn't get your ticket. So similar to the teens, we only got stuff that they were done. Kids, they got stuff they were done. So what we can verify, tickets that we have on hand, 2,300 books were read by adults this summer. That is 444 more than last year. 894 hours were read by teens, which is 186 more hours than last year. And 1,602 hours were read by kids in the community this summer, which is again 270 more. If you total the kids and teens together, the way my brain works, that is 19 full days of just reading 24 hours, that they did more than the last year. So that was awesome. We also, as you know, had a ton of summer reading programs. We had 21, not counting our story times. Our story times were really well attended, but they weren't separate than our summer reading stuff. That's just stuff we do all year long, so I didn't add them into this. But we had, at those 21 different programs, over 1,400 people came. And we did all sorts of different things. We had storytelling in the park, tie-dyes in the parking lot, a lot of things. We had a few different programs at the Inspiration Garden that the Master Gardeners ran for us. Painting with Jen at our house, the amazing Bubble Man, Mo Phillips came and sang. We had the Oregon Coast Aquarium come. We had U of O's Museum of Natural and Cultural History come. Home Depot came, and then of course we had our carnival at the library at the very end. Throughout the summer, we did random drawings. 42 different prizes were given out, and for just signing up, and then an additional 72. And most importantly, for the kids that didn't win the big prizes, we gave away 1,282 prize bags to kids. It was great to see them get something just for the effort that they put in, and I think that's one of the reasons that we are so successful with our children's program. With that in mind, I wanted to take a moment on camera in front of everyone to give thanks to everyone. Thanks especially to our dozens of volunteers that came this summer. I mentioned 1,282 prize bags, and I stuffed 0 of them. So thank you to our volunteers for all of that work. Thank you to the city staff that came and helped out. Our fine planner over there is a great juggler, as he evidenced by coming to the carnival and doing that while I was making balloon animals. City recorder and HR were gathering our book props in, and even the finance director came and visited us. That a special thanks to Public Works for helping us to reserve the park and get the things we needed for there. Thanks again to, and I had to write a list because I don't want to leave anyone out. I'm sure I did. So all of our prizes, thank you to the Friends of the Library, to Brew, to Independent Cinema, to Costa del Oro, the Ovenbird, to San Antonio's, to the Melting Pot, to Silk Tie, to Town and Country, to the Oregon Coast Aquarium, to Second Chance Books, to Walton's Garden, to High School Pharmacy, Sweet Things Bakery and Boutique, Campbell's Snacks, which is the new name for Kettle Foods, Rose Cottage Gifts, Sunny's Coffee and Plants, Gilgamesh, Golden Hop, Ice Age Candy, and my biggest thank of all publicly to my library staff, who held it all together when I had to run away for a week in the middle of July, when we were doing everything we could. They are amazing, and if you see them, I hope you tell them thank you as much as I do. And with that, there was a council challenge on who could read. I know there were people that signed up and participated in summer reading, but when Myra sent out the call for let me know the pages and books that you read, I didn't get anything from you, so I'm not including you. Process of elimination, you might know who it was that didn't get stuff to me, but you signed up, I'm sure you participated. I don't want to go in places, we'll just go down the road. Counselor Source, he read 15 books and reported 5,848 pages. Counselor Ronan read 8 with 4,216 pages. Mayor Kate, you read 9 books, didn't report any pages, so we're gonna assume they're 10-page books and you read 9 pages. Counselor Morton reported 30 books. It's safe to say they're probably, if they're only 350 pages each, that is 10,500 pages, and that is a conservative estimate. And Counselor Poor puts 23 books, 7,655 pages. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all for what you do for us. And thanks for coming to the library. We'll see you again. I'm sorry. If you enjoyed what we do for summer reading, I have good news. We're actually open all year long. So we will see you next week.
Just wanna say that even though Mayor Council Morton and I read most books, we won no prizes.
That's the way to stay politically clean, isn't it?
Alright. City Manager Woods.
Well, I always hate to follow Patrick because, you know, he's fun and he's funny and I'm administration and there's no fun with money in administration, so. I have a little bit of a list of things that we have been doing, a lot of them, you know, council, so a bunch of this of our community, just to keep them up to date on all the great things that our staff are doing. So on streets, our crews are continuing their striping and signage work. Striping was installed at the post office and they should have their work to replace old signage and striping on 7th and 4th done in the next few weeks. They also redid the striping at 11th and 12th Street, 11th and 12th at East Street. The water treatment plant, the property is in our hands and the consultants are gearing up the geotechnical work. Clearing and testing should begin in the next month or so. The Corvallis Road water line, our consultant is working on 100% plans and specs. Bidding will happen in the fall. Water loss survey. This project is underway, but we're really proud of this because operations has determined that we're at about 12 to 13% loss. We were at 20% loss. That is a significant change, and that is due to our public works folks fixing water leaks, replacing meters, and doing repairs that need to be done. So I'll take a page out of Patrick's book. And say thank you to our public works staff. That's incredible work that they're doing. And I also would love to tell you and the community that recruit officer Stevenson graduated Friday the 22nd. And I think Tino, you were there and
Two of my sergeants.
to his sergeant. Yes, went to go through this process. We're super excited to have it. The economic development summer series is officially in the books. We ended the summer averaging almost 500 people more per show than last summer. Now, the really great thing is several of the downtown businesses reported near July 4th level revenue on Fridays. That's impressive.
So I'm headed for
That's incredible, right? So the concerts are doing what we hoped that they do in helping our businesses. You already talked about the museum there, so I'll skip that one. Upcoming events. At the September 1st, just a notice the Civic Center is closed in honor of Labor Day. September 4th through the 6th, having Shakespeare in the Park, which I'm incredibly excited about. So I hope you all can go down. This will be the first time we've had that and hoping it's a great turnout and we have them again. And then last meeting, there was a request to take a look at House Bill 3145. So I just want to give you an update on that. We did a preliminary review by we and Sean. Did a preliminary review. And there's money to fund low-income housing projects using manufactured housing with a preference to innovative techniques. So there's about 50 million for projects, but there's also some discussion about doing 5 pilot projects. The bill will require industry collaboration, advisory committees, so there's a lot of background work that we'll have to do. They're still putting together the grant program and all the pieces, so there's not a lot more that we can report on right now. But we are gonna reach out to a couple of folks that we know that are in this realm, see what they have on it, and then we'll continue to monitor this. And if it looks like something we can do, then we'll bring it forward to you guys again.
It reminds me of some of the discussions we had at the first elder summit that the FCO held. So I'd be interested in hearing that. I'm not surprised that they're not ready yet because the governor just signed. Right. So.
Right. But we are watching it, we're monitoring it, and we're reaching out to see what other folks have. Thank you.
Alright.
Yeah. Thank you, Councilor Schwartz.
There, so special session starting on Friday. There was a hearing on Monday, where a number of mayors and councilors and county commissioners talked about it. Have you been involved in the conversations? What is the proposal to for roads for our community if that's the case, right?
So we sent information to our representative and our senator on what it looks like for us, counselor, and I didn't bring it up with me.
I should have reached out, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine, I think, Gerald, do you recall the numbers? I don't recall. Oh, yeah. Generally, in summary, what I can say is we it's mainly gas tax, as you know, and our share is not enough to do the work we need to do. The original bill that did not pass would have given us a significant influx. It still would not have been enough, but it certainly would have helped us to do more maintenance and repairs on our roads. We are hopeful that we can at least maintain what we're getting and we will be happy.
What I was hearing from other cities that were testifying were saying, we're happy that you're at least keeping the 50-30-20 match. Because there were bills at the end of last session where they got rid of the match and there was a lot of concern with that.
Yes.
But let us know if there's anything we could do to help clarify the position or anything. Just want to be a partner.
Thank you, Counselor. And I will make a note and I will send you the information, each of you, Council, that I sent to our representative and our senator. And then you'll have everything that
All right, moving on to new business.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to add an additional item to new business 7.3. I'll discuss it when we get to it.
Okay, thank you. Under our business, Myra, can you scroll up a little bit? Yes, this Fred, are we handing this over to you, Mr. Vendor?
That's correct. There's a script for you to read.
This evening, we will have a public hearing on AX 2025-02 to consider the annexation of a portion of the old Inman Polson rail right of way into the city of Independence and the designation of the property as residential in the Independence Comprehensive Plan, mixed density residential MX on the Independence zoning map. The city council will make a final decision on the proposal based on the complete record, including the testimony received at tonight's public hearing. These proceedings will be recorded. This hearing will be held in accordance with the land use procedure required by the city and state of Oregon. This is a type 2 quasi-judicial procedure. At the beginning of the public hearing, staff will present a staff report that identifies the applicable expanded criteria from the City's Development Code, Comprehensive Plan, and or State of Oregon statewide planning rules. For anyone wishing to speak on the proposal, we ask that you use the speaker cards provided. We'll call upon the speaker to speak your family matters for the public record. Before we begin, does any councilor wish to declare an actual or potential conflict of interest in this matter? All right, hearing none, I will now open the public hearing for AX 2025-02 and annexation and zone change for the 4-acre portion of the old Inman Polson Timber Company Railroad.
Perfect. Hi there, everybody. My name is Fred Ebenander. I'm the city planner here at the City of Independence, and I'm here to present on AX 2025-02. This is a relatively small annexation that you can see on page 17 of your packet. If you could flip to that, please, Myra. You will see that it's a small, about 50-foot wide right-of-way toward the south end of the community. That used to be a rail right-of-way for the Inman Polson Timber Company. Now this right-of-way, you can see the city has annexed portions of this right-of-way over time, and this is sort of the remaining portion that is still outstanding to be annexed. This rail right-of-way is envisioned to be either the future Mountain Fir extension or a trail associated with the future Mountain Fir Avenue extension, which is a key transportation project in our transportation system plan. This would bring it into the city and essentially enable us to control how that road is built, rather than us designing the road, then handing it over to the county to review. This would ensure that we are designing and we are reviewing the road and all of that sort of stuff. To process this application, I looked at it from the Oregon State Planning Goals perspective, the Independence Comprehensive Plan, the Independence Development Code, the administrative section, subchapter 11 of the Independence Development Code, subchapter 12, and subchapter 14. Basically, this is completely consistent with all of those those sections. This would further our comprehensive plan. Again, this is a key transportation corridor in our transportation system plan. It would help us develop in the southern portion of the community and all of those things. I should say that I did mention that it could be either the Mountain Fir avenue or a trail associated with that Mountain Fir Avenue. This was purchased at one point through state park grant. And so there's a recreational sort of restriction associated with the 50-foot wide strip. The parks plan does call for a Mountain Fir trail across this to eventually connect with, you can see the blue piece on the map. Which is anticipated to be a future trail along the river on the south end of town. That would sort of mirror what's going on the north portion of the town. This would connect to that trail. It would also, of course, assist with all the facility projects that are going on down in the south end. Based on all of those things and based on the consistency with, you know, the comprehensive plan and all those sorts of standards, my recommendation is that you folks approve this. It does not require planning commission review because again, it's one of those ones that combine the annexation and zone change in one thing that does not go to the planning commission. It comes directly to you folks. It was noticed properly, all that sort of stuff. Are there any questions that you have of me?
Mr. Mayor, I hope I'm not off base on this, but we've had people come to council talking about the extension of the trail from that side of town. Is this part of that effort?
Yes, so this, I mean, yes, so we anticipate that a trail will go through this portion and eventually connect to a trail that will extend north from there at some point.
Thank you.
I also think that it's important to notice that the city of Longmont sent us an email on August 19th talking about the importance of this annexation to them and their access to water.
Yeah, thank you very much. I completely forgot that that's. Yep.
Further questions of staff? All right. We wish to hear from everyone who is interested in this proposal. Please limit your comments and questions to 3 minutes in length. And remember to state your name and address for the record, but I don't believe we have anyone inside those. All right. Last opportunity for questions of staff. All right, I now declare the record hearing closed. Now we will go on to item 7.2.
Right, so item 7.2 is essentially a council bill and ordinance that would take action on the previous public hearing that you folks heard, essentially to annex the property and then to zone it mixed density residential, which is the zoning in that portion of the town. You'll remember that with the vast majority of rights of way, we do not designate them. However, since this is a simple piece of property, we would designate it as mixed density residential for the time being until we do classify it as right of way, and then either we'll keep the zoning on it or we'll remove that zoning.
Any questions of staff? No, this is an action item.
Did you close the public hearing?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I move to read the proposed ordinance Council Bill 2025-07 in full as the text is contained in the council packet for the first time.
Second. I have a motion by Councilor Morton and a second by Councilor Martin Lewis. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilor Source,
Aye.
Councilor Gordon,
Aye.
Councilor Water,
Aye.
Councilor Martin Lewis,
Aye.
Councilor Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Moore.
I
Motion passes.
An ordinance annexing the 50-foot wide former rail right of way for the Inland Folsom Timber Company and rezoning the property.
I move to read the proposed ordinance council bill 2025-07 for the second time by title.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilor Roden, and a second by Councilor Colbert. Any discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Ford,
Aye.
Counselor Morton,
Aye.
Counselor Martin Lewis,
Aye.
Counselor Colbert,
Aye.
Counselor Roden, aye. Counselor Source.
Aye.
An ordinance annexing the 50-foot wide former rail right of way for the Inland Folsom Timber Company and rezoning the property.
And third
One more.
I move to adopt the proposed ordinance, council bill number 2025-07.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilor Martin Lewis and a second by Councilor Colbert. Any discussion? None, we'll do roll call, please.
Counselor Ford,
Aye.
Counselor Morton,
Aye.
Counselor Martin Lewis,
Aye.
Counselor Colbert,
Aye.
Counselor Roden, aye. Counselor Source.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes and has been given ordinance number 1627.
All right, thank you. And Councilor Ford, you wanted to add a
Yes.
agenda item, so
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is a difficult topic and I'm going to read what I prepared, so I don't leave something out. During the open session following our recent executive session, Council Roden disclosed specific details that were confidential. The council rules clearly state that executive session discussions are confidential and must not be disclosed, with no exceptions applying to this situation. This disclosure is a violation of the confidentiality oath and undermines the integrity of the council's deliberative process. As such, I move to censure Councilor Don Roden for failing to adhere to the council's executive session confidentiality requirements as stipulated in the council rules.
thank you. We do have a motion on the table. Do we have a second for that motion?
Second.
So we have a motion by Councilor Ford, a second by Councilor Martin Willis. We'll have an opportunity to provide discussion on this prior to taking a vote on this matter. I also have a statement that I want to make regarding this. As Councilor Ford mentioned, the matter before us is not about personal differences or silencing anyone's voice or right to free speech. It's about the rules, the laws, and the responsibilities that come with being elected to serve this community. My role as mayor is to make sure we all follow those rules consistently, regardless of who we are or what our personal views are. Before we entered executive session, council was reminded that the information discussed in the session was confidential by state law. The reminder was repeated again inside executive session at the request of our attorney. Despite these clear warnings, information from that session was disclosed immediately after we returned to open session. Executive sessions exist to protect sensitive matters, whether that be personnel issues, litigation strategy, or negotiations. If we cannot maintain that confidentiality, we place the city at legal and financial risk, and we damage the trust that allows us to conduct business responsibly. A censure is not made lightly. It is a formal statement of this body that a line has been crossed and must not be crossed again. It does not silence anyone's opinion, but it affirms that all of us are equally accountable to the same rules. That accountability is what safeguards the integrity of this council and the confidence of our community.
So to add to that, since we're discussing it, this should have been brought and put on the agenda prior to 3 p.m. so that I had the opportunity to defend myself. So this wasn't put on here, so I did not have the opportunity to defend myself. And the mayor should be equally censored at the same time because she asked for discussion at that moment. So when she asked for discussion in a topic that she knew shouldn't be discussed, she brought forth the motion, the opportunity for me to bring forth the discussion that she knew shouldn't be discussed. So she opened the opportunity for people to discuss things. So she should be held equally responsible for things to be discussed in open council as well. So bring forth this, I'm sure.
Any further discussion by councilors?
I feel that it's in light of Councilor Wood's comments that discussion was open for the motion. The motion, if I recall correctly, was to authorize our city manager to negotiate on the city's behalf. That was not an invitation to disclose the confidential issues of executive session. Executive session has to remain confidential at all times. I mean, that's state law, it's in our council rules, and by setting it this day as we agree when we're sworn in to abide by those rules. That's
And I do want to make a further comment that it is the right of councilors to add agenda items. We have also, I just wanna make it known for the record, we did reach out to Council Roden. You know, I reached out requesting a meeting, and we've, City Manager West, you have also reached out on multiple occasions to try to get a meeting, so there were opportunities to discuss this. This issue came up, fairly quickly, and I welcome the open communication, but if meetings are refused,
Meetings are not refused. We're supposed to have a meeting next Wednesday, I couldn't meet yesterday. That's the only opportunity that was given for me to meet. Thank you for misleading,
we will disagree on that, but
that's fine, we have no records.
do we have any further discussion?
can we have clarity on the consequences of such?
City Manager West, I will look to you on this.
Those aren't words that come up in everyone's vocabulary every day. Just for clarity, that it's not the word censor,
No,
that we are talking about censure.
correct. So censure is the council's ability to indicate that one of their members has violated their rules. You have two options, and you can move forward with the censure and do a verbal reprimand. You can do a written reprimand. You can do additional investigation. I suppose that's three options. You can do this additional investigation. The ramifications are simply that the counselor is publicly reprimanded for the behavior that violated the council rules.
And if I can add to that, I do think we need to note that the executive session violation is, my understanding, that is through the Ethics Commission. Or can be. There's an avenue through the Ethics Commission.
There have been some changes on the ethics side, but almost the counselor apologies, Mayor Kate, that is something we can look into.
We will take a vote on this matter.
Let's do something too. I do think it's important for my colleagues to understand that it's an expectation of state law now that we are all responsible to get trained up on ethics and public records. The accountability is actually not with the city, it's with us individually. And it's our individual responsibilities to do that every term that we have the honor of being in this office. So we have to make sure that we hold ourselves to the standard that we expect to hold other people to. And, you know, I just wanna make sure that the public hears that this isn't a punishment about anything personally about my colleague, but about an action that happens. And that's, and it could be a learning moment, so, thank you.
Right. Councilor Source, Councilor Martin. What would I say?
A or nay?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Counselor? As a counselor, you have a responsibility, unfortunately, to vote. And I know this is a difficult.
Nay.
Thank you, counselor.
Water.
I was my hero, abstaining.
Councilor Martinez,
Aye.
Councilor Morton,
And I would like to say that I would love to see an opportunity for more training if that is where the deficiency lies.
Councilor Clark.
I. I'm sorry, Councilor Boyer, how did you vote?
I was abstaining because I was not here when anything was said. I have no idea what she said, what she said.
Thank you for the clarity on that. I mean, otherwise I would have to give you the same conversation. Thank you.
There were 4 ayes. 1 nay and 1 abstention.
The 4 ayes.
Yes.
Passes.
And I do have a verbal censure statement to read. Council Roden, by action of this council, you are hereby formally censured. This censure is based on your disclosure of confidential information from an executive session in direct violation of state law and after explicit reminders were given regarding confidentiality. This action undermines the integrity of the council, places the city at risk, and violates the trust placed in us by the public. While your perspectives and your service as an elected official remain valued, your conduct in this matter is unacceptable and must not be repeated. The public will see this censure as a reflection of your conduct. This censure will be entered into the public record as a formal statement of this council's expectation that all members adhere to the rules, laws, and responsibilities of office. Any other? There are no other items. I will entertain the motion.
I have any council, we have council.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Well, the good news is, I just wanted to be transparent that, I've been volunteering in some sort of capacity, for the city for the past 16 years. And since I've been on city council, I've been under investigation for over 50% of the time on some sort of ethics complaint. And I just got released from my last ethics complaint a few weeks ago. The last ethics complaint was initiated by Councilor Crewer again. Because I did not put on my statement of economic interest that I received child support and that I'm a disabled veteran. And although Vicki McCubbin doesn't feel that my service as a veteran, because I'm not a combat veteran, doesn't mean as much because I was not a combat veteran. I still served my country and was disabled in that service. I did admit that I was wrong and I should have put that I omitted that I did not put my child support on there. I did not know I had to put my child support in my disability income. I admitted it. They did not drop the investigation. They continued the investigation for over a year. I amended my statement of economic interest to include those statements, but they continued the investigation. They brought in the Department of Justice, even though I admitted I was wrong. And they finally gave me a letter of education stating that I do need to put my child support on there. Like I said, originally, Councilor Crewer was a pioneer in this, because I do believe that this is the first time child support needed to be included on it. The statement of economic interest is supposed to be shown to highlight dark money, anything that can contribute to how someone would vote, to influence their voting. My child support and my disability income does not do that. So I apologize for that. I want to be clear that it did not influence my vote. Letter of education did come through and I did amend my statement of economic interest, but I guess I will be under investigation again from the ethics department. So it'll probably be graded as 50% of my time now. That's okay. The other thing I'd like to admit, my car was recently stolen. That was a bummer. It was recovered in Salem. I'm really appreciative of the Rincon car company here who's fixing up my car. A lot of money to fix the condition, so that was a bummer. Also, my dog was attacked on a dog walk, which is another bummer, which my dog was on a leash. She was under my control the entire time. Police report indicated that my dog was bit, that was under my control, that the person's dog was out of her control. The vet bill indicated that my dog was bit and had stitches, and I still lost my case, which I just think is absolutely crazy. How I could possibly lose my case, even though I was walking on a public sidewalk with my dog with a leash the entire time, and I lose my case. So it's just weird how these things can happen, and you think you're doing the right thing the entire time, and things like this happen to you. So just have faith, people, that even when you're trying to do the right thing, bad things can happen to you, and just stay strong and stay diligent. You know, things happen, and I sent my son off to college, so that's also a tricky time, so I miss my baby boy even though he's 18. So I apologize for anything that I've done to confuse anybody. It was never my intent to hide my $300 in child support money. It was never my intent, so it never ever influenced my vote, but I just wanted to let everybody know that I got the letter of education. So I would be proud to be on my ethics complaint again, just keep that going. So surprising, but that's where I'm at, but I guess that's where Don Rubin is in this city council. So congratulations, everybody. You should be really proud of yourselves that that's where you're going with this.
Madam Mayor, may I say something, please?
I'm done now.
Councilor Rowan, it is not appropriate to attack a member of the audience.
I'm not
Councilor-
attacking anybody. She attacked me. I was not.
You're a counselor.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm the veteran here.
I want to put something on the record, Madam Mayor, if I may please. I did not report Counselor Roden for not including her child support payment. I reported her because she failed to report her income. She teaches at a private school, receives no salary, but she is compensated by free or reduced tuition, and that is employment, and it needs to be reported. And I've notified the commission of that.
Thank you. A good reminder for all counselors, for public record, we have multiple opportunities for public education. That includes the ethics training that is mandated by state law. We do need to, as Councilor Source mentioned, we do need to obtain that certificate every time that we are serving a term. And I do encourage people, I know there's a lot of, it's new, and the SEI filings, the statement of economic impact, interest, statement of economic interest. They can be tricky to fill out and to understand, however, there is help available, and if you have any questions regarding that, please reach out to either myself, City Manager West, or they also have direct lines and emails that you can submit information to, as well as online trainings to make sure that you are compliant with everything. So I do encourage people to take advantage of that and not wait the night before it's due, but to get things lined up well in advance. With that, is it cool?
Mayor, if I could say on a different note, or positive note.
Yes, thank you.
Two things that I want to acknowledge. One, a couple weeks ago, we had a chamber event, I believe, that was like the Taste of Monmouth Independence.
Yes.
We had some guests from out of the area who decided to partake in that and had a wonderful experience. And for the first time experienced a number of the restaurants and bars in our community, and saw this as a lovely time, so they wanted to express gratitude to this community for putting on events like that. So one positive. Second positive, I want to thank City Manager West, our city reporter, and everyone for our new document system. I found it super easy to use, super easy to navigate, and really appreciate it. It was so easy, I actually confused myself. Like, there's no way it's actually like that's as easy as it is. So I just wanna express gratitude for the work you're all doing to make it as accessible and easy for the public and for us as counselors to read our packets. Now it's even harder for us to come up with an excuse to read.
Oh, we didn't read it, yeah.
To not read it, thank you, Mayor, so yeah, thank you.
I also want to thank our city recorder and members of the staff who've been participating in the myriad of meetings this week. I know it's a lot of effort on your part, but I really appreciate the time and attention.
And I too would like to, thank everyone who has worked on the wall with heels. It's coming in on the 16th of September, setting up on the 17th and opening on the 18th to the 21st. Concurrent with that is the Independence Hop and Heritage Festival. I see that signage just went up downtown. It is an understated event this year because it's running from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's an amalgam of both a passport beer tasting and an open beer garden. So, and even though it's a hop festival, there are a lot of other things going on besides just anything that relates to beer.
Is that on the 20th, is that?
The 20th, yes.
And September is just right around the corner, so while these dates seem like they're far out in advance, they're not. That's a couple weeks away out, so.
And on the note with the wall that heals, we're doing volunteer signups, there are still some slots available. And there is training being provided on the evening of 17th.
Yes.
6 o'clock, I believe. Once you sign up, you'll get a lovely email from Rhonda giving you the time. So there is training for volunteers wishing to participate, and your help would be greatly appreciated.
And since it's a 24/7 activity, I'm thinking that midnight to 2 a.m. is a pretty charming time to be out there.
And also we have our last movie in the park, Wonka, I believe, this Friday, and then Shakespeare in the Park. So that is a new one for us this year, and
A Midsummer Night's Dream. I don't like that.
yes. That's
I do have one. Oh, that's still.
I would just like to say, my first or second meeting as a city councilor, when I first came in, we were reviewing our charter and our rules that we had adopted. And the definition of grandstanding came up and it was questioned. I just wanted to just publicly say that I think tonight's a great example of what grandstanding is. On a lighter note, I would like to say that there was a full county fair a couple weeks ago, and my son won first place in 4-H for his pig, and that was the first time he's ever done that, so that was pretty amazing.
Do have one more announcement because I think it's a fairly rare thing these days, but our West Army University's football season opens up with a game against Southern Oregon University on September 6th, I believe. And we don't get to play local regional universities very often, so it'll be a special one. It's a Hall of Fame game, so some of our Hall of Fame recognized former football athletes will be there, and it'll be just a wonderful place. Encourage folks come and support our football team and support the sports talk. So, thank you.
Mayor, if I may, Public Director reminded me that school is going to be starting soon.
Yes.
So with everybody, we need to get out of summer mode and into watch very carefully when you're driving mode.
School zones are 20 miles per hour.
I think you can.
Well, and remember that there's gonna be traffic.
Yes, yes.
It always takes me a few
Yeah,
minutes
I know.
during the year to remember.
All right, with that,
Move to adjourn.
let's adjourn. Thank you all.